ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately?
And welcome back once again to Reynolds Coliseum here in Raleigh, North Carolina, the #1 team in the nation. North Carolina, look at the starting lineup for Dean Smith. We highlight Pierce Landry. He started his career as a walk-on. He'll have to step in and take the place of Dante Calabria, who has the injured ankle. Ishua Benjamin, just a freshman, but boy, the people here have seen him light it up early on in his career. Started out his career with the highest point total ever for a freshman here at NC State. We are underway. That's Benjamin with the ball. McCullough comes around a little screen, launches a long three, won't go. Knocked out of bounds. Belongs to NC State.
Expect North Carolina State to shoot the three-point shot an awful lot. They average 25 attempts per game already this season. There you look at Les Robinson. They've got to shoot it well early, and they must do a good job rebounding the basketball.
And Ricky Daniels, the guy with the ball, gets fouled quickly by Jerry Stackhouse. Daniels, I started to mention, is the guy who will rebound for them. As you look at Dean Smith. Won a few ball games in this building. In every building, I think.
Yeah, that's right. There you see his record here at Reynolds Coliseum. This North Carolina State club feels like they've got a legitimate shot to knock off the #1 team. They're a little deeper. They're an excellent shooting club from behind the arc. And they feel like if they can limit turnovers and get off to a good start, they can win this game.
They turn it over there as Daniels gets caught with a double dribble. And Carolina goes to the offense for the first time.
Good matchup to watch. Benjamin and McGinnis.
Stackhouse in the lane, knocks it down.
Jerry Stackhouse, number 42.
Benjamin goes around McGinnis, get a little hand check there.
Obviously, without much depth, the one thing that Tar Heels can ill afford is early foul trouble. There you take a look at Benjamin. I asked him to give me a scouting report on his own game. He said, basically, I'm a penetrator. I love to set up my teammates. And the one thing his teammates told me about him is that he's unflappable. He's got a cockiness and a confidence about himself where nothing is going to bother him.
You can see that in watching State's early games this year. I mean, against UCLA, going up against Tyus Etney, one of the best in the country, and he was not in any way intimidated.
And the same thing with Kansas's Jock Vaughn. I mean, he got 44 points in those 2 games, so that says a lot about his confidence.
Bagans with a fake on the baseline, strong with the shot. Stackhouse quickly takes it and gets fouled by McCullough.
Transition defense will be key for the Wolfpack as well. You talk about rebounding, making some shots early, but as evidence there, rebound by Wallace. Good outlet here to Stackhouse. And in the open court, with his ability to hop and get to the hole, it's tough to stop him.
Stackhouse with the only points of this game early on.
This young fella is averaging 22 points a game, 8 boards. But more impressively, he's getting to the free throw line 8 times a night, which says he's going strong to the hole on a regular basis.
Carolina takes an early 4-0 lead. The freshman Benjamin, there's the trap. Daniels wide open for a 3, launches it, can't get it to go. Fuller with the rebound, puts it down off the glass and in.
Both teams will play primarily man-to-man. You'll see some trapping from North Carolina.
Stackhouse working on Vegas. There's a block down the baseline.
Wolfpack foul on Vegas, number 34.
I think Brian Vegas is in good position, but he needs to step back another half step and make Jerry Stackhouse shoot the jump shot.
Well,
he got off the bagel. Didn't score here last year in 15 minutes. They should almost count that one for 5, John.
I'll be back in a minute. Oh, my goodness. Fuller can't get it to go. Fagans with the rebound. Loses it on the way up. McGinnis starts to break. Donald Williams launches a 3 off the mark. Daniels with a rebound.
So far, NC State getting good looks. They just need a couple to go. Gotten a couple of good shots inside.
Fuller working on Wallace.
Nice look.
Wide open for Daniels, and he buries the 3. Stackhouse moves into the paint, leans, and rattles it home.
Basket by Stackhouse, number 42.
Oh, he's playing with so much confidence. Increased minutes will help that, but you could tell last year that he was going to be a special player. A lot of production in limited minutes even a year ago.
A rainbow from Lakeista McCullough. Long inside, Wallace grabs it, turns around over Fuller, drops it in.
Oh, that was sweet. Nice catch in the jump hook, and Fuller was in good defensive position. Wallace goes about 6'10", but because of the rubber band arm, he plays a lot bigger, and he's got excellent legs for a big guy.
Oh, Fuller almost got a kind roll as he just threw it up after he was fouled.
Here, take a look at Rasheed Wallace. Now watch Fuller. He's in pretty good position. Good catch in the one dribble. Then the nice. Look at the extension on the jump hook. Impossible to stop that shot. Great extension.
Wallace goes to the bench for a breather. Serge Zwicker will come in. Daniels launches and knocks it down.
Well, you can just feel the pickup in intensity with conference play. I love it.
Stackhouse behind his back. Haynes can't get it to go. Fuller clear. Benjamin finds Fagans at the top of the key. Won't go. Zwicker with the rebound. McGinnis shakes into the paint. A little strong with it. Fagans with the rebound.
One of the things to watch for is offensive rebounding for the Tar Heels. Without Calabria, who helps them extend the defense and spread them out, there aren't nearly as many offensive rebounding lanes. And that could be a factor as North Carolina State can rebound defensively, limit the Heels to one shot.
Shot clock is underneath 10 now. McCullough from the corner. The 3 rattles in, won't go. Fuller with the rebound, throws it up. Probably should have backed it back out.
You're exactly right. Just because you have it inside doesn't necessarily mean you need to shoot it.
Stackhouse with a 3. Doesn't go.
It's one and done for the Tar Heels so far. And if you're Les Robinson, I think you've got to like the quality of the shots you're getting. I mean, they're getting good open looks at some nice jump shots.
Every time down. Fuller lets one fly that misses everything. I don't think that's what Les Robinson would have liked, having his big 6'10" guy launching one from outside the three-point range. Just the same, it's a tie game, 10-10. And Rasheed Wallace gets his first deuce here at Reynolds.
We're all tied up here, 6 minutes in. And North Carolina State doing a nice job running their half-court offense, getting high-quality shots. Take a look at the penetration by Lakeista McCullough. He comes from the right portion of your screen, draws defensive help, and then pitches it outside to Ricky Daniels. Landry late getting there on the rotation, and Daniels nothing but rope.
And we got some change. If you look at the three-point field goals, NC State.
They're well,
7. Don't let them go.
They're well on their way to that 25 per game average, aren't they?
Absolutely. Jeremy Hyatt is into the game for NC State. As a C.C. Harrison.
Boy, watch Hyatt, folks. He's a live wire. And that's the kind of guy you want coming off your bench, because you want guys to come off your bench that have the ability to change the complexion of the game.
Forward gets it blocked. Hyatt finds it and finds Harrison. Daniels blocked with it.
Here, take a look at Jeremy Hyatt. He's got 27 points in his last 3 games. And again, he can shoot the three, he can handle the ball, he can defend, he can come up with steals. He's a very energizing type of player.
McGinnis lets it go in the lane, won't go, and there's a guy you're talking about. Hyatt comes up with a rebound on the break. Fuller with the catch and sticks it.
How about the pass, John? Benjamin with the no-look full length of the court pass to the streaking Fuller.
And the travel against Rasheed Wallace. A little hesitation there, cost him a step. You know, you and I did a game here last year between NC State and Virginia. What a difference between the confidence level of this Wolfpack team and that team last year.
It's palpable. I mean, you can actually feel it. These guys, there was an article in the local paper here, and Brian Feggins, the 6-year senior, talked about how moral victories aren't enough. That type of mindset in and of itself is clearly indicative of what this team thinks it can accomplish, not only tonight, but throughout the season. They want wins, not close games against good competition.
You can see it. Like you said, you can feel the difference. Shot clock down underneath 10 now.
Need to dribble drive here, break down the defense off the bounce.
Right with the pass, back out. Harrison's open for a three and gets it. State leads by 5. Donald Williams tries to do it on his own. Won't stay in, and Daniels clears it out. And then a foul underneath.
Just what you want if you're North Carolina State. Limit the Tar Heels to 1 shot, make good penetration and pitch out for good shooters offensively, and get this crowd into it.
And that's 2 on McGinnis. They can't afford to lose their point guard. Hyatt along the baseline. Stackhouse gets it out of there. NC State has opened up a 5-point lead. Back 15-10, NC State has the lead. John Saunders along with Clark Kellogg here as NC State tries to pull off the upset. We talked about the lack of depth. You see the starting 5 in double figures, and they are without Dante Calabria because of the ankle injury. Really haven't had this type of minutes for the starting 5 since back a team that had a guy by the name of Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, Jimmy Black, I think Matt Doherty, Perkins, those guys. And yet they're very capable, all 5 of those starters, without Dante Calabria tonight because of the sprained ankle. But when you don't have much depth, the guys that are playing the big minutes have to put all the points on the board for you. You wonder if you can go a full season in this tough ACC conference and then on into the NCAA tournament, only being able to play 5 to 7 guys.
Stackhouse gets his man in the air and then gets the foul. Tar Heels have gone over 4 minutes without scoring. And all of the scoring has come from those 2 guys you talked about, Stackhouse and Wallace.
Well, I think think the guy that has to step up isn't necessarily Pierce Landry, but Donald Williams. He's kind of struggled with his shot. Was playing great last year before the foot and shoulder injuries kind of sidetracked him, and really hasn't regained that form he showed after that great sophomore run at the end of the year when he was the outstanding player in the NCAA tournament. Doing a nice job passing the ball, has improved defensively, but hasn't really gotten back to that shooting stroke that he showed so well in the sophomore season.
Stackhouse nails them both. He has 8 points now. Hyatt trying to escape the trap does.
Boy, nice penetration there.
Harrison moves in for a closer look and buries it. That's a deuce.
Well, these are two outstanding looking young guards, John. Benjamin and Harrison, and they're both just guards, John. They're not through points or two guards. Both of them can handle, both of them can make plays, and I guess Harrison at this point is the better shooter.
Donald Williams gets fouled, so he'll go to the line to shoot three, and very nearly had a chance at a 4-point play because that ball was halfway down.
Boy, and Les Robinson almost sprung loose a vessel over there because you don't want to foul a three-point shooter. You want to challenge a shooter, but you certainly don't want to foul him. There's Robinson.
Especially when that three-point shooter is about a 70% lifetime free throw shooter. It's like giving him three.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, I say that, then he's got no shot.
That announcer's jinx. Boy, that's almost a 5-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. Now, that would put him in the top in the NBA, or right there. Muggsy Bogues from the Charlotte Hornets is always somewhere in the 4 to 5-to-1 area. That's taking good care of the ball.
Makes 2 of the 3. Tar Heels will make a change as Shemon Williams comes in.
Shemon Williams, number 15, in for the Tar Heels.
The freshman who really hasn't seen a lot of minutes for Dean Smith, but again, we've talked about the depth problem. He will have to.
And Dean Smith is going to have to figure out a way to develop and establish some bench support. I mean, they were counting heavily on Pat Sullivan, and he would have been a tremendous addition to the front line because of his experience and versatility, but they're without him, and Calabria will be back probably in the next few days.
Nice job by Fuller to swing it out. Harrison can't get the shot to go. Follows his own, but he was out of bounds when he picked it up. Benjamin comes back in. C.C. Harrison goes back to the bench.
Now, Harrison left with a slight limp. Came down awkwardly on that attempt to rebound his miss. But as long as the body stays warm, I think he'll probably be able to walk that off.
Wilson gets whistled for the fouls. He tried to cut off the baseline.
Back fouls on number 25, Marcus Wilson.
I want to remind everyone there's more college basketball coming your way tonight. Second half of the doubleheader. St. John's and Providence. St. John's looks to join Syracuse, Georgetown, and UConn as teams with 2-0 starts in the Big East.
Everybody talks about Felipe Lopez, and with good reason. Landry buries the triple.
That'll help.
Another guy to watch for St. John's, Charles Menlin. And Eric Williams at Providence now standing forward.
Love watching Eric Williams play. Fuller lets it fly from outside. He's long with it. And wide open at the other end is Shemon Williams. He tries to lean in, misses, but Stackhouse is there to knock down the miss.
Stackhouse, number 42.
Poor defensive floor balance that time on the missed shot by Fuller. And the Tar Heels get one in transition.
Davis, rather, with a 3. I was going to say Fagan shouldn't be up there knocking out threes. That better be Davis.
Nice looking stroke, and the young man wanted me to mention hello to Mom Mary. So I've got that business taken care of for you, Mom.
Quick hands by Hyatt, strips it away. Oh, the pass was way off the glass. It comes right back to Stackhouse. He tries to lob it in, and now we're getting a little herky-jerky out here. Ishra Benjamin for 3, won't go. McGinnis, let's go this way once. Shamon Williams off the mark. Wallace with the rebound, rattles it in.
Two putback hoops in a row after North Carolina State for the first 11 minutes of this half. It kept the Tar Heels off the glass. But it's much harder to block out people in transition. You're scrambling to find the ball and find men.
Oh! They get the travel call, but it was still pretty just the same.
You take a look at Fuller working on Rasheed Wallace. Nice help there by Hyatt. And then the Wolfpack able to go the other way.
You spin that pretty in the lane, they should call.
Yeah, they should let you go ahead and get away with it. And sometimes the officials anticipate that call a little bit and figure you covered too much ground without a dribble.
You had to walk.
Yeah.
Ed Geff, number 40, is in, along with Serge Zwicker. Wilson commits the foul. That's his second.
Foul on Wilson, number 25, his second, and that's the 16th foul.
16 fouls, so the next one will put them into the bonus. 8:11 to go here in the first half, and North Carolina only get 1 point lead. Ricky Daniels comes in for Wilson now.
Mason Wilson.
Landry to the baseline, well short with it. Geff tries to follow. Fagans comes up with it. McCullough to Benjamin, launches a three, and gets it.
It wasn't pretty, but looks don't always equal results.
Donald Williams to the baseline, spins, hangs, off the glass. Nice job.
Yeah, tough one-on-one move.
Number 21.
Daniels lets go with a three. It's off the mark. Zwicker with the rebound.
Well, I think NC State has to be careful not to try to have dessert before dinner. You know, they can spread out North Carolina with penetration and crisp ball movement. You don't want to bail the Tar Heels out by quick shots like that. So you're not making a move.
Didn't make him work at all. That took down the floor. Donald Williams to Shamon Williams. Donald lets it fly. No good. Zwicker, nice follow. This was taller than Fagans, who just reached over and grabbed the rebound.
Starting to work the offensive glass a little bit. Let's see if North Carolina State comes down now and works their offense. North Carolina in a zone. So that means you have to penetrate the gaps on ball reversals. Look to probe your nose and the ball inside to try to force that defense to rotate. At some point, you have to get away from just passing it on the perimeter. Dribble penetration or passing inside.
Benjamin tries a tough shot. Fagans out-muscles Zwicker for it.
I think this zone is a way for North Carolina to catch their breath just a little bit.
Davis for three. No good. Geff has the rebound. Well, the Heels are trying to get three players in. Shamon Williams with a nice little drive to the hole. Sweet.
Shamon Williams, number 15.
Benjamin sometimes can just will the ball into the basket, and that's just what he did there.
Zwicker, number 45.
Zwicker with two more.
Well, Carolina getting nice contributions from Williams and Zwicker now.
Williams with the good hands there. Fell to the floor and turns it over. He had come up with the steal, but right now the Heels are on a bit of a run. They lead by 6. 31-25 North Carolina with the lead, and it's supposed to be an inside-outside game, but you usually hope that it's your team doing both things, not one team doing one, exactly doing the other.
Well, anytime you are able to get points in the paint, obviously you're getting higher percentage shots, and you're going to make more of them. North Carolina State, we pointed out, they'll shoot the three-point shot 25 points 25 times a game, but they need to balance it up a little bit.
Hyatt in for a closer look, dumps it back outside. Benjamin, three, no good. Tar Heels almost get caught fighting each other for the ball, and then Jeremy Hyatt fouls. Sends him into the bonus in the 1-and-1. Now we could see a lot of clanking going on in this game.
Yeah, if those numbers hold up
Back shooting, 1-and-1.
You see North Carolina State at 65%. North Carolina last in the league right now at 63%.
But they're 6 of 7 today. 7-8. So maybe ready to break up.
Anything to make the graphic look bad.
I'm surprised to see Duke on that list.
It's still early in the season. You put together a couple of strong games from the stripe, and those numbers will move much closer to the 70% area for those teams. Nothing really happening inside for North Carolina State. Part of that is good defense by North Carolina. The other part, though, is North Carolina State being a little too anxious to settle for the perimeter shot. They've got to probe inside a little more with the pass or the bounce.
Got a new shot clock on that kick ball. They haven't been able to find Fuller much at all. Color lets it go, though, and hits the three. Guinness launches one off the mark. Color was out of bounds and did not reestablish before he came to get the basketball. Therefore, it will belong to the Tar Heels. 3:55 to go, 5-point lead. Welcome back. John Saunders along with Clark Kellogg. We should remind you coming up tomorrow, it's the Busch Atlantic 10 Great Midwest Challenge from St. Louis at 7. Temple takes on Marquette. Followed at 9:30, UMass against St. Louis. And John Calipari, we talked to him earlier this year. He was saying, wait a second, I don't mind being in this thing, but how come I have to play St. Louis on their home floor?
Well, he said he'd go anywhere to play anybody, and he certainly has proved that to be true, and his team can handle it. They are loaded. They've got all the pieces.
Williams gets stripped, but he gets fouled by McCullough.
Over the last 6 minutes, the Tar Heels have rendered this virtually a fan-free environment, John. They've kept the crazies here in Reynolds Coliseum on their hands. As you see, haven't been able to put together a run. Right now, methodically, by getting inside, getting to the foul line, North Carolina starting to push a little bit of a lead out. And one of the keys for North Carolina State is to not have any significant droughts. I mean, they can't go an extended period of time without putting points on the board.
Williams gets 1. So the lead is 6. Benjamin into the paint, drives with it. Fuller comes up the loose change and drops it in.
A fortuitous bounce there, but you'd like to see North Carolina State do more of that.
The lob goes off the glass, becomes right into the hands of Wallace. Stackhouse then gets it on the other side. Well, there's going to be a foul on Wallace. He threw an elbow at Fuller after the play. Or it's just a warning.
Yeah, he had that chicken wing out there pretty good, John. He had that chicken wing out there. Take a look. Well, actually, we're looking at Fuller, who got inside, one of his few opportunities in the paint. But after that play, Wallace, after his teammate scored, had that wing out a little bit, and the officials doing a nice job to let him know they won't tolerate that.
Right, there was no foul because there was no contact, and he was just making a point, I think. The official doing the same. Hyatt buries a three.
Well, I guess NC State is going to play it outside in, John. They're going to go against the conventional way to play. Not inside out. They're going to go outside in.
Wallace can't get it to go. Landry chasing. And Landry will get hit with a foul. As McCullough did a nice job just trying to save it and then got a little push in the back. That's two on Landry. Just the 15th foul, so we're not in the bonus at this end yet. And now just a three-point contest with 2:40 to go.
Boy, look at Fuller and Wallace get after each other inside.
Benjamin spins, had nowhere to go, and then the foul. Wallace stepped in to help.
That was a pretty good rotation by Wallace. I thought he got there pretty well. Takes away the baseline as he's fighting with Fuller. There he is working with Fuller. Then he stepped away. I think he just stepped into Benjamin. Let's see. Boy, that's a tough one. I thought he got there. But again, he extended his hands a little bit, and I think that's where the official thought he committed the foul.
So he'll take a breather. And the next one will send State to the line in the bonus. Daniels swings it back out for Hyatt. Shot clock under 10. Benjamin drops it down. Fuller gets the shot blocked.
Well, great defense by Stackhouse there.
Williams loses it. NC State ball.
Stackhouse giving up about 5 inches, but good timing in the long arms, allowing not only to block it, but to save it. I was teasing him before the game started. I said, you're not 6'6", you're about 6'4 and a half. He came back at me smiling, but I said, you play bigger than you are, though. He kind of liked that.
Especially coming from you, we would like that.
He's got a lot of game. Strong, the long arms, the good hops. His stroke comes and goes, but I think he's a much better shooter than people give him credit for. It's just a matter of shot selection on a consistent basis with him.
So we're into the bonus, and Fuller goes to the line. Can cut the lead down to 1 if he can make them both. We showed you that free throw graphic. Good hustle by Daniels, gets another rebound. One of the leaders in the ACC early on in rebounding.
Yeah, Daniels is one of those guys that just gives you good, solid play in a lot of areas.
Daniels is open for 3 and gets it. Tie in the game for the 5th time. Stackhouse tries to answer off the mark. NC State.
Well, you don't expect Daniels to knock down the three-point shot, but I think he's made 3 of them already.
I think he only had 3 coming in for the entire season.
Yeah.
He was 3 of 16 for the season.
You know Ricky Daniels is going to board and defend and make good decisions, but the three-point shooting, the bonus tonight.
Benjamin gets fouled as he lets it go. The shot clock was down to 3 seconds as well. Pierce Landry's 3rd foul. Well, a former walk-on who had to step in for the starter, Dante Calabria. And there's a look at Calabria on the bench with the injured ankle. He's in foul trouble. Benjamin gives State the lead. A reminder coming up, it's the Delta Faucet halftime report. Carl Ravitch and Digger Phelps. Scores and highlights, including a look at Penn State's big man, John Amaji. Clemson Duke update. With Gary Trent in action as well. The big guy at Ohio U. Stick around. Turnover. Landry throws it away.
Seconds to go. You play for one. Carolina going to pressure a little bit, try to make the Wolfpack use some clock in getting it up the court. The danger in that, though, is if you get beat initially, you create some open alleys. Now they settle down. Benjamin has to get it up, and they need to get busy at about 7 seconds on the clock.
Hyatt finds Daniels, leans in, and sticks it off the glass. The Wolfpack go to the locker room with a 3-point lead on a 14-3 run to end the first half. From Reynolds Coliseum, 39-36 is your halftime score. There's still plenty more to come from here, but right now let's take you to the Delta Faucet halftime report. Carl Ravitch and Digger.
ESPN's presentation of NCAA basketball is brought to you by 1-800-COLLECT, the way to save on collect calls, and by DirecTV, introducing personalized TV.
Can you tell the conference players begun? Look at Clemson on the road and Duke up 4. Last night, LSU shocks Florida. Now back to the ACC and John Saunders. John?
Carl, thanks a lot. You're right. It could be an upset here because right now, unranked NC State leading by 3, 39-36. John Saunders along with Clark Kellogg. We talked about it throughout the broadcast. You can look at this NC State team and feel they've come of age. They can play with anyone.
Exactly, and when you can shoot the three-point shot as well as they did in the first half and do a good job rebounding, don't turn it over, you've got a chance to win. And so far, as we take a look at the statistics, the two things that jump out at me are the free throws and the three-point shooting. North Carolina 9 of 11 from the stripe, but that's more than compensated for by North Carolina State's 8 for 18 from behind the line. Everything else really even other than points in the paint. And sometimes if you shoot it well enough and often enough from behind the line, you can overcome rebounding deficiencies and inside scoring deficiencies.
We're underway. As you look at the leading scores, Daniels for State, Stackhouse for Carolina. And for Carolina, Stackhouse and Wallace each with just 1 foul apiece. And that's the good news because the backcourt is in a little bit of foul trouble. Benjamin launches a 3 to start the second half. 4 hauls down the rebound.
Another offensive rebound. North Carolina State had 6 of those in the first half.
McCullough short with it. Donald Williams, a 3 that misses everything. You don't expect to see that from him. Benjamin on the break. And McCullough with him, but leaves it in himself.
Well, excellent decision that time. He had the ankle and he took it right to the cup.
Stackhouse. Nice little post move.
He's so strong down there. He can just hold off defenders that are not his size, and that time he just caught it and made it look easy.
Benjamin swings it around. Daniels down to Fuller. Wallace reaches in, slaps it away, and forces the turnover. McInnes starts the break, working on Benjamin, leans in, and rattles it home.
Poor job defensively that time by Benjamin. He just escorted McInnes to the basket. and never really got in front of him and made him change direction.
McCullough launches a long three, won't go, and it comes right to Wallace. Stackhouse looking to run the floor and fill the lane. Can't convert, though. Oh, nice touch. Dragons with the touch and Fuller with the goal. Wave it off, though. It's offensive. Says Dick Ferraro.
Let's take a peek. Nice touch pass here by Brian Fagan. And there's the contact. Wallace was in good, solid position. Tough call, but a good one.
Dick Ferraro was right next to it. Wallace gets the lob inside. Jump hook won't go. And if that's Pierce Landry, that's number 4 on him.
I really think North Carolina State, as you take a look at Dante Calabria, who would love to be out here, but that right sprain, that right ankle sprain just won't allow him to do what he'd like to do on the floor. But I think North Carolina State has to establish some type of inside game, John.
Well, you would think with Fagans and Fuller, they've got a couple of bodies who can hang in there with Stackhouse or Wallace. McInnes, a little floater won't go, comes right to Stackhouse, he loses it. Donald Williams dumps it off, but Stackhouse was cutting towards the goal. Sarah Swicker comes in for Pierce Landry, who goes to the bench with the 4 fouls. Fuller wants it and gets it on the lob, takes it up off the glass. Swicker changed it from behind. Then the conversion.
Persistence pays. When you miss one in tight, you should be the first guy to know where it's going to come off and get right back to it.
Swicker gets the lob this time. Oh! Rasheed Wallace takes the miss and rattles the building.
He's so quick off his feet. You know, a lot of big guys reach, but this guy reaches and jumps. I think that was just an errant shot. I don't think that was a pass. Swicker may tell us otherwise, but I've got the replay.
It'll be a pass tomorrow. I don't know about when it left his fingertips. Baggins in a little trouble, finds McCullough. Daniels lets go with a 3. That one won't go, but it comes right to Fuller. Back out to McCullough, who launches another 3.
Well, they're doing a good job on the offensive board, especially Fuller.
And Rasheed Wallace gets hit with the offensive foul, clearing out Todd Fuller down at the other end. Number 2 on Rasheed. And as you might expect, they're going a little nuts here.
Ever seen one of these? No, you haven't, because this is the future of television. A tiny satellite dish that receives something new called DirecTV. Now, for those of us who aren't rocket scientists, here's how it works. Every time I turn on the TV, I find something I feel like watching. Let's say I feel like a movie. Oh, do I drive to a video store? No, I stay right where I am. DirecTV is my video store. The hit movies I want start every 30 minutes. Let's say I feel like sports. I get hundreds of pro and college games I couldn't before. And cable networks? I've got everything I want. Everything. And DirecTV is digital. You can get great picture, CD sound, so even that fancy TV set you've been bragging about could look a lot better. And where is DirecTV? In some dream about the information superhighway? Nope. It's in my living room right now. Get your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV at your RCA or satellite TV dealer.
Imagine a couple of Swedish engineers have dinner with a couple of German engineers. The Swedish engineers, overhearing, talk about safety, while the German engineers, over bratwurst, talk about the joy of driving. And what do you think they'd end up with? Probably the new Volvo 960. Now the only question is, who's going to pick up the tab? The new 960 from Volvo. A Consumer's Digest Best Buy.
Rasheed Wallace just picked up foul number 2. Take a look at it right in the center of your screen. Banging bodies with Fegans. And then he pushes off. Actually, Fegans grabbed him a little bit. But I think what's going to happen is Rasheed Wallace gets stronger. He's not going to need to use his arms that way. He'll be able to hold off with his lower body. Only his second, but certainly if he gets that third, he's in the danger zone.
They already have one starter on the bench from Pierce Landry with 4 fouls. Benjamin into the paint, nowhere to go. Pass goes off the Tar Heels. We look at some more scores coming in. Clemson leading the Dukies at halftime by 6.
They're playing without Devin Gray, their best scorer, because of academic difficulty.
Benjamin's shot is blocked by Stackhouse, who captures his own block. Finds McInnes, who spins, finds Zwicker, who dunks it down.
It was a little sloppy, but the result ended up just what Carolina wanted it to be. Well, what a great block by Stackhouse. Excellent timing, and again, he's got the long arms and the good lift.
Buller, they back off him, so he knocks it down. Boy, it's nice to have a big guy who can hit that shot.
Yeah, he can hit it to about 15 or 16 feet when he's got his feet under it. If he goes out beyond that, it's a little too much for him.
Wallace won't rattle, but Zwicker's there with the follow. He is 8.
I'll tell you what, they've gotten a tremendous lift from him, as well as Shamon Williams in that first half, so the depth factor hasn't really been a problem. Dean Smith may have found a couple of guys he can count on.
And he'll need them down the ACC stretch. Daniels tries to find his way free. Fagans on the baseline. Benjamin just slides, throws it up, sliding backwards. At the other end, Stackhouse on the glass.
What a nice shot. Knew exactly where it was. He caught the defender by surprise and going so quick to the hole.
Benjamin was trapped, found his man. Fagans can't get it to go, comes right back to him. Out to Daniels for 3, and rolls it in. That is his third 3 of the game. And as we mentioned earlier, he had 3 all season coming in.
But what's happening? Second shot opportunities. That's twice this half, John, where North Carolina State has gotten a second shot and turned it into a 3-point goal.
McInnes with the miss, Wallace with the follow. Jeremy Hyatt is coming in. As if the pace wasn't quick enough, it's about to get a little quicker.
Yes, sir. Boy, Zwicker did a nice job. In limited time, he's made a major contribution for the Tar Heels.
Zwicker back to the bench as Ed Geff returns. See his zone.
Just about even. The follow-up points.
Hyatt loses it off his hip. It goes right to McInnes. And then he is fouled as Hyatt tries to retrieve it. And McInnes is down in the lane, holding his back.
Boy, you just have to cringe if you're Dean Smith or and a fan.
And you are not kidding. Looking at a team that's already very thin. Dante Calabria with the sprained ankle. And the cheer, if you heard the cheer go up from the crowd, they're not cheering the fact that McInnes is injured. They're cheering the fact that they just announced that Clemson is leading Duke at halftime.
Take a look here. McInnes just gets himself in an awkward position there. There he bumps, and then he just comes down awkwardly. I think that's where he may have wrenched his back. Good to see that he got up himself and kind of walked over to the bench. Hopefully, the young man can return and get back out on the court.
So Pierce Landry comes back into the game with the 4 fouls. Williams working on Harrison. Little fadeaway. Gets it.
That's a tough shot. He's got that ability to take you off the dribble. He's a 2 or 3 dribble guy, and then he's able to get into his shot.
Benjamin swings it to Daniels. Finds Harrison in the corner, and he rattles in a 3. Tried the entry pass and was knocked away. The Wolfpack still with the lead. Back in a moment.
Some of the world's most advanced safety innovations are now available in this handsome carrying case. The new 960 from Volvo, a Consumer's Digest Best Buy.
I'm a soft-spoken kind of guy. There's nothing more important to me than a quiet chat with my son, Shaquille. I just marched to the phone and dialed 1-800-COLLECT instead of 0. The money I saved him, he can use to buy some new backboards. Take it to the hole, Shaquille. They wonder where he gets it from.
Must be a good month on HBO. HBO.
Welcome back once again, John Saunders and Clark Kellogg. Clark, you said it while we were in the break that NC State is just simply going to try and 3-point them to death. Yeah. And they have done just that. NC State 11 of 26. Carolina 1 of 7. 30-point differential.
Yeah, that's plus 30 in 3-point field goal shooting, and you lead by 2. Well, it does point out that you can stay close with good inside scoring and free throw shooting, which is what North Carolina has done.
11th Carolina turnover as Zwicker's pass sailed through the hands of McInnes, who's back on the floor, apparently okay after that brief back injury. So that's good news. Hyatt lets go with a 3. Zoller! Oh!
Well, he's been a monster in there, John. I think he may have 6 or 7 boards, and I know for sure 4 or 5 are on the offensive glass.
Zwicker turns around short with it. Look at Stackhouse chase the rebound. Someone got a hand on his back. Ricky Daniels, I believe. I mean, there were 3 white jerseys around Zwicker's shot, and somehow Stackhouse got the rebound.
Here you take a look at a turnaround jump shot, but Stackhouse, he's the only guy who reacted to the ball. Rebounding is timing and tenacity and going after the ball, and Stackhouse was the only guy who wanted the orange there. And then Ricky Daniels with the hard foul. You know Carolina's going to maintain their poise. Stackhouse works double-double here.
7 of 7 from the line for Stackhouse as well.
Well, he gets big volume at that line. We noted it in the first half. 8 attempts per game. And if you're going to shoot him as well as he's doing tonight, that's 9 3-points.
Daniels.
I think what's happening with North Carolina, they're so conscious of the three-point shot, though they haven't defended it well, it's allowed Fuller to sneak around inside and get himself a second shot.
There he is again. There it is. You called that one. He might have got a little push. Ball is free. Stackhouse comes up with it. Donald Williams launches a three. No good. Ishwa Benjamin. Slow it down a little bit. Harrison nowhere to go. Finds Hyatt.
Good spacing here. See, on ball reversal with this kind of spacing, you've got to be ready to penetrate and dish.
See the shot clock. Harrison lets it go, no good. Fuller nearly has the rebound, but Wallace wrecks it out of his hand. Stackhouse spins right into 2 members of the Wolfpack, and as a result, he travels. Lakeista McCullough will come in for Ishwa Benjamin. Davis set to check in as well. Jerry Stackhouse has been the leader throughout the game for North Carolina. So I'll look at the turnovers. So a nice job of protecting the ball by both teams, really. Oh, Rasheed Wallace blocks that one.
Well, he's got such great timing. Here you take a look. Stays on his feet until the last moment and then puts it in reverse.
Fuller and Wallace, that is one battle that's going on down there. Fuller comes out away from the basketball. The basket knocks it in.
Well, that's an excellent move by Fuller. Just had his shot blocked inside, got a little brush screen and got right into his range. About 15 to 17 feet and buried. Rasheed Wallace doesn't want to come out that far.
Donald Williams pulls up, no good. Harrison goes up and wrecks the rebound away from Landry. Hyatt for 3, no good. McInnes pulls up for 3. Chases down the miss. Donald Williams along the baseline, flies up, hangs with a tough shot. Fuller gets the rebound.
Gonna have numbers here. 2 blue shirts are in the backcourt. Not a good decision there.
Color off the mark.
Yeah, they had numbers. 2 Carolina guys were on the floor. If they could have gotten the third lane field, they could have gotten a much better shot than that 3.
Lob into Wallace. Little hook around. Foul is called, so he'll go to the line. Remind everybody on Friday, 8:30 Eastern time, Cincinnati facing DePaul as conference play continues. They're going in the Great Midwest. One of the final years of the Great Midwest, at least as we know it now.
Right.
Jerry Stackhouse getting a breather. One of the few he has had today, playing most of the minutes in this game.
I think Dean Smith has done a pretty good job getting his guys 2- and 3-minute blows, interchanging positions. I mean, when you're short-handed and short Stackhouse will be as we go down to the last 5 or 6 minutes of this.
Wallace makes one. State comes away with the ball. Collar dumps it out, swings it around to Hyatt. Davis from the corner, a little strong with it. Finishing for a closer look. Kings in the lane, won't go. Gets it back though and throws it off the glass.
Little fella doing work inside. Chase down his own. You know, he gets about 4 boards a game from the point guard spot, so that's not unfamiliar territory for him.
Heels have the lead again. Hyatt tries to answer. Look at Davis go up for the rebound. I think they've got Rasheed Wallace going over his back.
Rasheed has to be careful. He always wants to talk with the officials after a foul is called. And you get a reputation for doing that, they'll start looking at you a lot closer.
13 foul. That is an official timeout.
I noticed that.
Attention sports fans, when you need a score on any game, call Scores Coast to Coast. Sports scores are updated every 5 minutes. You also get current weather and injury reports as well as trends on every game. And best of all, they're absolutely free on a recorded message. Scores, weather, injuries, trends, and more right now for free. In the Louisville area, call 502-562-7800. Quick, someone just scored. Call Scores Coast to Coast.
Hi, I'm Bob Sokoler from Louisville Tonight Live. The hottest selling vehicle in the country is the new Dodge Ram pickup, and Neil Huffman Dodge has a great selection. You can buy a new 95 Ram pickup at Neil Huffman for only $12,988, or you can buy a top-of-the-line SLT Laramie loaded with options for only $16,988. Get Kentuckiana's best prices on America's hottest selling truck, the Dodge Ram, only at Neil Huffman Dodge on Shelbyville Road in St. Matthews.
It's unbelievable! It's incredible! This man is trying to sound like Dick Vitale. Why? Because he could win big in the ESPN Mountain Dew. Hey, you sound like Dickie V contest. Shoot the rock, baby! Send a video of your best Dick Vitale, and you could go to college basketball championship weekend. I can't believe it! Then compete with other Dick wannabes for a C2, a C of Mountain Dew, and a seat in a 95 game with Dick himself. Hey, you're good, baby! Send us your Dickie V video for your chance to win the trip and the whole shebang.
Welcome back. I mentioned NC State was trailing in the game as North Carolina, I thought, had taken the lead by McInnes's last field goal, but the scoreboard across from us, Mark, the 8 doesn't work. So it has the light bulbs trailing. There's a look at the Microsoft storyline. North Carolina 38 points in the paint. Stackhouse with 20 of those. For NC State, 30-point advantage in three-point range. In fact, they've taken 57 shots, 33 from three-point range. And as you can see, Rasheed is on the bench with his 3rd foul. 7+ minutes left. Under 10. Fuller again, they back off him. This time he's long with it. And Fuller and Davis will get nailed with the foul.
Putback foul on Mark Davis, number 4, his second. 15 foul.
With 15 fouls, so still a couple away from the bonus.
Well, if you're NC State, you want to defend without fouling as best you can the rest of the way, and then rebound your defensive board.
Williams, tough one. Runner along the baseline and gets it.
He does a great job using his body and his lift to get space for himself. I mean, he'll bump into guys so he can feel them and then back away and create some space. And he's got such good lift on the shot. tough one-on-one play.
Color with a long three comes right to Hyatt. He leans in, can't get it to go.
Made a tough shot tougher by going to the left hand and not using the window. I think he was expecting contact in there.
Landry still in the game with 4 fouls, tripped up himself. Short, follows his own miss, long the second time. Piece to McCullough, pulls up in front of Williams, drops it in.
And that's a sweet shot in transition, and a tough one to pull up on a dime, and then get nothing but rope. Good judgment that time by McCullough.
Donald Williams. Won't go. Tipped by Landry, won't go.
Well, he's getting some good looks at it, Donald Williams is.
Color from 3. Buries it.
And he wants it, John. He just told his teammates, bring it my way.
Carolina needs to talk it over. We'll be back.
Gather up your ideas. Run with them. Where do you want to go today?
A 3-hour tour.
You a sports fan? Then you know what this is. All the games you're missing. How'd the Chiefs pull ahead? How'd Seattle blow out the Nuggets? Well, with DirecTV, you see the action, not just the scores. NFL, NBA, college, hundreds of games you probably couldn't get before. Games only on in other cities. Hey, you want numbers? Get a newspaper. You want sports? Get DirecTV. For your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV, see your RCA dealer.
Thanks to 5 straight points by Lakeista McCullough, NC State is up by 4 here in transition. No doubt about this one, folks. He caught it and pulled the trigger, and then he told his teammates, bring it my way. I want it the rest of the way.
I'll tell you what, as hot as he is, they should listen to Lakeista McCullough.
Blue Moon. Ball, 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 ball.
Dang it on ding.
There you go.
All right. Rashid has a strip. But Jeremy Hyatt gets whistled for the foul, his third. Look at the shot selection. Carolina is 1 of 9 at three-point range. Everything in, coming in close. NC State, 12 of 34.
They put it up in big volume. That's 9 above what they average on the season. They've got guys who can shoot it. Obviously, McCullough can. Ricky Daniels has been a bonus tonight. He's made a couple. Harrison has knocked down a couple.
Stackhouse hangs, throws it up, and gets fouled. You talk about the strength of Stackhouse. It's interesting to watch him separate himself from the man without pushing to get free.
That's what strength is about. That's why Rasheed Wallace, as he gets stronger, won't pick up those offensive fouls. He's not strong enough to hold guys off simply by putting his arm up, so he starts the swim motion and picks up the foul. Stackhouse, on the other hand, has the strength where he can hold you off just by getting that forearm up. That's where North Carolina is going to go, I think, the rest of the way. Donald Williams, he'll try to create for himself off the bounce, but I think they're going to try to look inside for Wallace and Stackhouse. And why not? If he doesn't score, Stackhouse has been perfect from the line.
Step 22 now. There's the trap. Benjamin brings it across.
Want to get it to the middle of the floor. You don't want to hamper yourself with that sideline.
Comes right out. And McCullough knocks in another three.
If I'm out there, I find number 3.
Now we know why he wears that number.
If you want fresh squeezed orange juice, get him the orange.
McInnes, his 3 rattles in and out.
That's 8 straight for McCullough, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
2 threes and a deuce.
Daniels runs out of room. Shot clock under 10. McInnes tries to draw the charge, no go. Tipped away by Williams with just 4 left on the shot clock.
The NC State doing too much clock watching, John. They're not running their offense. I know they want to use some clock, but you still have to be fluid in running your offense. You need more points. A long time to go in this one.
You got to think quick, and Daniels lets go with a long 3 that doesn't catch any of the iron. Would have been a shot clock violation. It comes to the heels anyway.
Stackhouse, good position inside.
Double team, still slices between defenders, gets his own rebound and sticks it in.
That's great work inside. You can just see the determination. It's not going to be denied.
Hyatt thinks about a 3. Fuller back out to McCullough. Let's fly it short. Pierce Landry with the rebound. Donald Williams looking to tie and does it.
Oh, he stepped into that one beautifully. Caught it on the curl and right into the shot.
And NC State wants a timeout. 66 apiece as number 1 tries to survive here in Raleigh.
How new we're looking, you love how hot we're cooking, yeah. You love the stuff we're made of.
There's a whole new spirit at Pizza Hut. That's why from now on, your pizza will be right or it's free, guaranteed.
You love the stuff, you love the stuff, you love the stuff we're made of. You love the stuff we're made of, Pizza Hut.
Rauchen verboten.
不要抽烟。
Απαγορεύεται το κάπνισμα.
タバコを吸わないでください。
Vietato fumare.
Cigarette fumas.
Défense de fumer.
In answer to our passengers' requests, Delta Airlines has become the first and only U.S. airline to fly totally smoke-free worldwide.
You love the way we fly.
From the ACC, we move to the Big East. Felipe Lopez, the freshman, and Eric Williams, one of the most unknown players in the nation, but one of the better players you can watch. St. John's against Providence. St. John's off to a 1-0 start. Providence looking for their first win in Big East play early on. That one's coming up next, but we still have 2:28 to go here. North Carolina and NC State tied at 66 apiece.
North Carolina only has 3 team fouls as you take a look at the reset here, so they can be very aggressive. Although because it was an out-of-bounds play, they're in the zone.
McCullough launches a 3 again, and he's just golden from out there.
Boy, risky to stay in the zone, even though most coaches will zone baseline and sideline out-of-bounds plays. You got a guy as hot as McCullough, you got to tag him.
McInnes with the miss. Dick Paparo's coming in to change the call. Says it went off Pierce Landry and sends it the other way.
It was the right call. A blue shirt got a hand on it last. try to put a little pressure on now. Whatever they do, they've got to find Lakista.
Trying to get Shamon Williams into the game for Pierce Landry. February 1986. They beat North Carolina right here at Reynolds. Jimmy V, our old friend, was the coach then. I talked to Jimmy's daughter, Jamie, today, and she said she had a feeling that it was going to happen again tonight.
He had good vibes, so
you never know.
He's only a minute and 58 away from those vibes proving to be true.
Carolina can commit the fouls. There's a little pressure there. Benjamin just gets it over as McCullough came to help. Into Fuller, who knocks it down. And then he goes down.
Seems to be okay. What a game he's had. He said he's fine. He's really worked on the weights to get himself a lot stronger than he was a year ago, and it's made big dividends tonight inside.
You know what's nice that he does, and then you talk about a tough kid, he gets up off the floor in a hurry, so it's not an injury timeout. He doesn't have to go to the bench. He can stay in the game. That's a great job.
Yes, sir. Good call, John.
Landry in, tries to dump it down. Daniels comes up with the turnover, and Hyatt has it, and finds McCullough. They have to foul him. UCLA has beaten this NC State team. That one was out at Pauley Pavilion. Arkansas plays tonight, UMass tomorrow. You'll see on ESPN. And Kansas Saturday against SMU. Kansas has also played NC State. Right. Tell you what, played 3 of the top 5. And there's another foul.
And they're just going to try to stretch out the game now and hope that North Carolina State will miss some free throws.
They've now reached the bonus. Pierce Landry will check back in. Clyde Lynn, who's on just momentarily, goes to the bench. On to give him a few fouls.
Well, it's relatively simple from here. You make your free throws, and you walk out of here with a big win. If you don't, you give North Carolina a chance to hang around.
Of course, as we mentioned earlier, 2 of the 3 worst free throw shooting teams in the conference. We know it's early. Just the same, but nice throw, Benjamin, the freshman, pulled his ice, I guess you could say.
You couldn't let that one go.
No. Get some ball. Carolina needs to score and score quick. Wallace on the baseline gets it, and then a timeout for the Tar Heels. Well, there's just a minute 9 left. Clark, as you know from watching North Carolina many times, nobody can make that minute 9 stretch out longer than Dean Smith.
They've had some amazing comebacks in their history, and with the 3-point shot, it doesn't take as much to come back from a single-digit deficit in a minute and a half as it used to. So clearly by good use of the timeouts, and if NC State misses a free throw or 2, who knows what'll happen.
I mentioned the last time they knocked off a #1 team was in '86. Jimmy V is coach, but Les Robinson had a pretty good moment against North Carolina a couple of years ago. Tom Gugliotta poured in 34 points against Dean Smith. They just couldn't stop him from close range, over top of Eric Montross, from long range as well. Gugliotta also dished in the basketball as NC State knocked off the Tar Heels. There's Brian Fagans in the civvies there as he was unable to play because of injuries back then, but that was 2 years ago. They haven't beaten the Heels since.
Well, again, strong with the ball and making free throws will give them the win. There you see what they've done from the three-point line, right on their season average. And what a weapon that three-point shot is.
Tipped away. Stackhouse is so quick off his feet. You think you've got the ball past him.
And he's got the long arms. He's probably got like a 38-inch sleeve length. And when you combine that with good legs, you're able to make a lot of deflections, get after a lot of balls that seem like they might be out of your reach.
Hyatt. And a little push by Williams. He got overly aggressive on Hyatt. He really didn't have to. He waited a few more seconds. They were in danger of a turnover.
So you know that clock starts working on your mind when you're down. You think seconds are going away a lot quicker than they actually are.
Jeremy
Hyatt, a 63% free throw shooter. Misses. Stackhouse comes down with the rebound. We're under a minute.
You don't need a three. Just throw it inside. You're in the bonus.
And Fuller gets whistled for a foul. And that's a tough one. He and Wallace were going at it. That's number 4. But it's tough because it stops the clock and gives them a chance to go to the line and get points without the clock moving.
And you take a look. They've been banging all day. And Fuller was a little overzealous there. He didn't think so, but the official did. That's his 4th. Not only do you get a chance to score with the clock stopped, but out of the free throw, you're in much better position to get into your full court pressure.
See what Rashid has done from the line tonight. Dante Calabria, who's a starter on this team. The twisted ankle that was twisted over the weekend, did not practice all week, has not played in this game. As Wallace makes them both.
Three-point game, now you really don't need to foul right away.
But they do anyway. They foul McCullough.
Foul on number 42, Jerry Stackhouse. His second.
Yeah, see, in that situation, you really wanted to try to force a turnover. And then after giving yourself 7-8 seconds to do that, then you could foul. And you're still pretty much in the same situation.
Had it down to a one-possession game.
With 1-1.
To make things even worse for missing Dante Calabria, you're missing the guy who can knock down the 3 for you late in the game.
Exactly.
5-point lead.
But you're still in the position where you don't need the immediate 3. And you've got an advantage inside because Fuller has the 4 foul.
Cincinnati taking on DePaul. That's Friday night here on ESPN, 8:30 Eastern Time, 5:30 Pacific, as the conference play starts to get underway. And as you can see, evidenced here tonight, conference play will tend to be a little intense. But a lot of fun to watch.
The absolute best. Teams are so familiar with one another. They understand the styles and philosophies of their opponents. And the atmosphere is just so much different when you talk about conference play.
And coming up next, St. St. John's and Providence. Speaking of conference play from the Big East, St. John's off to a terrific start. The only blemish, a loss to Penn. And I'll tell you, that Penn team is a fun team to watch.
They really are.
That's not your typical Ivy League squad there.
No, they've got guys. Jerome Allen can beat you off the dribble. Maloney can stroke it from outside. Their front line isn't very big, but they're quick and they're active. They spread you out and they're well coached. Yeah, they're a fun team to watch, as you said. Well, you look at this season, John, there are really no dominant teams. Because of the lack of depth for Carolina, I don't know if they're a true number one. By virtue of a couple of losses by Arkansas and UMass, they get the spot. But they've still got to find some depth.
Donald Williams lets a three go that's off the mark. McCullough, who else would come down with the rebound?
And Stackhouse picks up the foul. And that's his third.
I mean, this guy has done everything tonight.
Well, he's a senior. And he's been through the wars. And he's got an excellent stroke and confidence to go with it. And I think his teammates look to him. And when you perform like he did tonight, they'll continue to look for you.
Solid up there as well.
Not only does he have a nice looking stroke, but he doesn't get much rim when he makes it. I mean, those things are pure.
I don't think he got any rim on either of those. Under 30 remaining. McInnes for three. Short. Fuller knocks it back out. The Tar Heel basketball.
Celebration. They're itching. Check out C.C. Harrison showing us a little bobbing.
CNC Music Factory right there. Rasheed for three. Short. Daniels nearly had the rebound, and Stackhouse commits the foul. That's his fourth.
Boy, you wonder how he feels. A lot of people thought he was coming to school here.
Oh, yeah.
Back before he signed with the Tar Heels.
We heard the chants of traitor.
Yeah, right.
He came on the floor.
He's a great player, though. Outstanding young player.
Well, they don't call you a traitor if you can't play. they forget about it.
That's right. That's right. They just leave it alone. Well, this is a heck of a win. If, in fact, NC State is able to hold on and grab it, I think they will. Great win for an excellent coach and a classy guy, Les Robinson. He feels like they've turned the corner.
I think there's no question about that. Daniels now with 15 points. And 15 seconds remaining now. Donald Williams launches a three off the mark. Hyatt gets the rebound. He's fouled. Turning the corner. What a job this guy did.
Yeah, outstanding on the board. Big offensive production in the second half. Calabria wishes he could be out there, but that sprained ankle might keep him out another game or two.
Todd Fuller goes over to Jeremy Hyatt, says drop it in. Start celebrating it. Bill Pretzer comes on the floor. Les Robinson, a couple players off his bench, and gets a big cheer for Lakeista McCullough as he goes out.
Nice gesture there.
He finishes with 24.
And about 10 or 11 of those were in money time.
McInnes lets it go. And that's going to do it. The celebration is on. In case you hadn't figured that out, they have knocked off number 1. NC State a winner by 10. Les Robinson worked so hard for this program, comes up with the victory. Coming up next, it's St. John's and Providence. For Clark Kellogg, I'm John Saunders. So long from Raleigh, North Carolina, where this has just been a lot of fun. We'll see you later. Right now, let's go to Carl Rabbit.